2NURFM News. For our sponsor, Tile Warehouse Warners Bay, the large floor tile specialists.
It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Jacinta Lee with 2NURFM Hunter News. A man in his 20s has been seriously injured following a head-on smash at Edgeworth this morning. A car and truck collided at about 7:30 on George Booth Drive, leaving the man trapped in the wreckage for about an hour. He was taken to the John Hunter Hospital with head and leg injuries. Meanwhile, traffic is back to normal on the New England Highway at East Maitland after an earlier 5-car pile-up. Hunter's Peak business and industry bodies have given the 2015 federal budget the tick of approval. The Hunter Business Chamber applauded a 1.5% tax reduction for small businesses and a 100% tax break on the purchase of new equipment up to $20,000. President Ross Taggart says the budget will bring widespread benefits to the country's small businesses.
The Hunter Business Chamber thinks definitely the budget will assist the small business in not only in the Hunter but throughout Australia.
No additional federal funding will go towards Hunter roads this year, according to last night's budget. The 2015-16 budget does, however, indicate a substantial increase in funding for the Roads to Recovery and Black Spot programs, with $700 million and $160 million allocated respectively. NRMA President Kyle Loades says this is still a win for the Hunter region.
The Roads to Recovery program has doubled nationally to $700 million. That'll flow through to our local councils. NRMA estimates there's a backlog to fix our local roads of $360 million. Local councils have never got enough money to fix roads, so that's a win for the Hunter region.
Police have released a CCTV image of a man who performed a lewd act in front of two 12-year-old children in Waratah last Thursday. The man is described as wearing a dark blue hooded jacket, white shorts and a red peaked baseball cap, and fled the scene after exposing himself at about 3:15 Thursday afternoon. Sonia Roberts from Police Headquarters says the search is ongoing.
Officers from the Newcastle City Local Area Command attended, but were unable to find the man, and the children were not injured. The man has been described to them as being of Caucasian appearance and between 30 to 40 years old, of medium complexion, average height and slim build.
Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. A 19-year-old woman has been injured by a horse this morning and was airlifted to John Hunter Hospital. The woman was badly injured and was flown by helicopter from Muswellbrook Hospital to John Hunter shortly after 10 a.m. Glenn Ramplin from Hunter's Westpac Helicopter Rescue Service says her injuries are not life-threatening.
We've got a 19-year-old female that's been kicked by a horse on a property up at Scone. She has head, abdominal and pelvic injuries as a result. She's in a stable condition.
There are calls to ensure the former bowling club site at King Edward Park is kept open to the public after the Land and Environment Court found current plans invalid. The decision came after community group Friends of King Edward Park mounted the challenge against the planned function centre, which did not meet the management plan for the area. Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe says however the park is used, it needs to be in line with the required plan.
Some people want no development there, they just simply want a park. Some people would like to see a conference centre or a commercial facility to have coffee or a restaurant, and others want even more development. So you just got to get the balance right for that space. It does have iconic views of the ocean and the park, so people do want to access it and use it. That's fair enough. It just has to fit within the required plan.
In finance, the All Ords is up 22 points at 56.95, and $1 Australian is buying 79.73 US cents.
Sport for our sponsor, NewcastleCheapestCars.com.au.
The Newcastle Knights don't believe the West Tigers will have their confidence dented despite a big defeat last week in the NRL. Forward Tarek Sims says he expects the visitors to challenge them on Sunday after being outmuscled by the Roosters last round.
Big game this weekend. We've got big Marty Capel charging at us. And then you got the sharp outside back players. They're playing really well. And, you know, they had a bit of a blemish last weekend, but, mate, I'm sure they'll turn it around. And we've got to make sure that we're training and preparing well for this weekend.
Newcastle Jets W League Player of the Year, Emily Van Egmond, is hoping to lead the way for the Matildas at the World Cup in Canada next month. The 21-year-old has captained Australia at a couple of matches this year and hopes to be named in the role again. And Northern New South Wales Football has called for round 9 of the youth competition to be rescheduled and wants to work with clubs to change the rules on postponements. The recent wet weather has played havoc with the junior grades. Under the current rules, teams involved in postponed games play for double points when the sides meet again later in the season. That's sport. I'm Reese Wicks.
2NURFM news time is 1:05.